In a world where beauty is often measured by appearances, status, and fleeting trends, there exists a deeper, timeless kind of beauty, the beauty of a godly woman. It is not found in makeup brands, social media filters, or designer clothing. It is found in her heart, her character, her spirit, and the way she carries herself with grace, wisdom, and strength. For centuries, great men, from kings to philosophers, from prophets to warriors, have spoken of women whose beauty was not just skin-deep, but eternal. Women whose presence uplifted nations, strengthened families, and inspired men to become better versions of themselves. Today, brothers, we will dive into this truth, the beauty and behavior of a godly woman, what makes her rare, why she is so powerful, and why recognizing her is one of the greatest treasures a man can ever experience. Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, the place where men sharpen their minds, strengthen their hearts, and rise above mediocrity. If you're ready to unlock wisdom and live with purpose, then you are in the right place. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with another brother who values truth over trends. Together, we grow stronger. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. The timeless beauty of a godly woman. When the world speaks of beauty, it often points to physical features, youth, smooth skin, perfect symmetry, and the temporary glow of outer attraction. But true beauty, the kind that endures through time, tragedy, and trials, has nothing to do with cosmetics or fashion. The timeless beauty of a godly woman is something far greater. It is spiritual, moral, and deeply rooted in her character. History has always reminded us of this truth. The philosopher Socrates once remarked that beauty is a short-lived tyranny, warning men that physical charm fades quickly, leaving behind only the true essence of a person. And in the ancient Hebrew wisdom of Proverbs it is written, "Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised." This is a reminder that while the world chases what sparkles on the surface, wise men look deeper. A godly woman's beauty radiates from within. Her strength is not in how many eyes turn when she enters a room, but in how many souls she uplifts when she speaks. Her dignity cannot be bought in a store. It is cultivated through discipline, patience, and reverence for higher principles. Think of Queen Esther from ancient scripture. Her outer beauty caught the eye of a king, yes, but it was her courage, humility, and wisdom that saved her people. Without character, beauty is powerless. With character, beauty becomes unshakable. And men, this is why we must not be deceived by the world's shallow definitions. Too many brothers fall for surface-level attraction, chasing women who may be beautiful to the eyes but destructive to the soul. To admire only the physical is to build a house on sand, but to recognize the spiritual depth of a godly woman is to build on rock, unshaken by storms. A godly woman's beauty is revealed in her behavior, in her calmness when others panic, in her loyalty when others walk away, in her patience when others lose control, in her faith when others doubt. This is the type of beauty that never fades, because it is rooted in values, not vanity. Brothers, remember this: external beauty may attract you, but inner beauty will sustain you. A godly woman does not need to chase attention, because her presence commands respect without a word. She does not follow the world's chaos because she knows her worth is eternal, not temporary. As men walking the Stoic path, we must discipline our eyes and train our hearts to recognize this rare treasure. Do not be distracted by what glitters, search for what endures. A godly woman is not just beautiful, she is a sanctuary, a safe haven, a reflection of divine order in a chaotic world. And when you find her, treat her with honor. Because just as a man of true strength is rare, so is a woman of true godliness. Drop a thought below. What do you believe makes a woman truly beautiful? Chapter 2. The character and virtues of a godly woman. If beauty is what draws the eye, then character is what keeps the soul. Brothers, a godly woman is not defined simply by how she looks, but by how she lives. Her life is a testimony of her values, and her values shape the way she behaves in every situation. Across civilizations, the greatest teachers and thinkers have praised virtue as the highest form of beauty. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, reminded himself daily that waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. And we can mirror that wisdom in understanding women. It is not in words, but in actions that true character is revealed. So, what are the virtues that shape a godly woman? 1. Reverence and humility. A godly woman recognizes that her strength comes not from pride or arrogance, but from humility. She does not boast of her worth, she lives it. Her humility makes her approachable, her reverence makes her respectable. She understands that power used with pride destroys, but power carried with humility builds. Think of Ruth from ancient scripture. She had no wealth, no title, no status. Yet her loyalty, her faithfulness, and her humble heart made her worthy of honor. A godly woman is not measured by worldly status, but by the quiet dignity she carries in her daily life. 2. Discipline and self-control. The world today is driven by impulsiveness, desires, distractions, and endless temptations. But a godly woman lives differently. She guards her heart, disciplines her mind, and controls her emotions. She is not a slave to gossip, vanity, or reckless behavior. She has mastered herself, and that mastery makes her powerful. In Stoicism, self-control is one of the cardinal virtues. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes not from doing whatever you want, but from controlling what you desire. In the same way, a godly woman is free because she has disciplined her spirit. 3. Loyalty and faithfulness. A godly woman is a woman of covenant. Her word is her bond. When she says she will stand by you, she stands, not only when it's convenient, but when storms rage and difficulties rise. She does not betray, she does not abandon, she does not play with loyalty. This is the kind of faithfulness that has moved kingdoms and upheld generations. History tells us of countless nameless women who, while their husbands fought in wars or endured hardships, held families together with loyalty and strength. Without them, nations would have collapsed. 4. Wisdom and nurturing strength. A godly woman is not loud in foolishness, but steady in wisdom. She listens more than she speaks, and when she speaks, her words carry life. She knows how to encourage, how to correct, and how to guide, not by tearing down, but by building up. This wisdom makes her a nurturer, not only of children, but of men, families, and communities. She plants seeds of discipline, kindness, and vision. And just like a garden, her influence grows quietly but powerfully, turning barren ground into fruitful life. 5. Courage and conviction. Do not mistake gentleness for weakness. A godly woman is courageous. She stands for truth even when it is unpopular, and she protects what is sacred even when the world mocks her. Like Deborah, the judge of Israel, she can rise in moments of crisis with boldness that even men respect. Her courage is not aggressive, it is righteous. Brothers, these virtues are not accidental. They are the result of daily choices, discipline, and devotion to something higher than the self. A godly woman trains her character like a soldier trains his body through consistency, sacrifice, and faith. But here is the wisdom you must hold close. Many men fail to recognize these virtues because they are distracted by surface-level attraction. The world teaches us to chase what looks good for a moment instead of what lasts for a lifetime. A godly woman may not always shine with worldly glamour, but her character shines with eternal brilliance. And let us be honest, such women are rare. They are not easily found in a world that celebrates vanity, rebellion, and self-indulgence. That is why when a man discovers a godly woman, he must honor her, protect her, and value her above superficial pleasures, because in her he has found not just a companion, but a partner in destiny. Share your thoughts below. Which of these virtues do you believe is the most powerful in a godly woman? Chapter 3. The influence of a godly woman on men, families, and society. Brothers, never underestimate the power of a godly woman. Her influence is not loud or flashy. It is quiet, steady, and deeply transformative. A godly woman is like fire. When it is uncontrolled, it destroys. But when it is disciplined, it warms homes, lights paths, and forges steel. Her presence has the ability to shape destinies, strengthen men, and bring order where there was once chaos. 1. The impact on men. Every great man who walked this earth was either uplifted or destroyed by the influence of a woman. The philosopher Plutarch once wrote, "The soul of a woman is truly the soul of a nation." And indeed, the strength of a man can either be sharpened by her virtue or weakened by her vanity. A godly woman does not compete with a man, she completes his vision. She does not drag him down with unnecessary drama, she challenges him to rise higher. When he doubts himself, she reminds him of his strength. When he is tempted to take shortcuts, she encourages him to stand firm in discipline. Think of the words of Napoleon Bonaparte, "Give me educated mothers, and I will give you a great nation." He knew that the nurturing and influence of women shaped the very character of men, and when that nurturing is godly, the man becomes anchored, strong in purpose, disciplined in action, and noble in conduct. 2. The impact on families. A godly woman is the backbone of a strong family. She may not always be in the spotlight, but her influence is everywhere. In the way children are raised, in the stability of a household, in the peace of a man's mind. The ancient proverb says, "The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down." A godly woman builds. She builds with patience, with love, with discipline, and with vision. She understands that her words can either heal or wound, so she speaks life. She understands that her actions set an example, so she lives with integrity. In her presence, children learn respect, discipline, and compassion. In her guidance, sons grow into honorable men, and daughters grow into virtuous women. She is a silent teacher, shaping the next generation not by force, but by example. 3. The impact on society. Brothers, families are the foundation of every society. And when women walk in godliness, society flourishes. Look through history. Every great civilization was either upheld by virtuous women or corrupted by the lack of them. In ancient Rome, the decline of the empire was not only military but moral. Historians recorded that when women abandoned modesty and virtue for vanity and indulgence, the very core of Roman society collapsed. On the other hand, when women preserved discipline, family honor, and loyalty, nations grew strong. A godly woman influences society not by shouting in public squares, but by shaping lives within her reach. She creates stability in households, nurtures children into responsible citizens, and encourages men to rise as leaders. And from this unseen influence, entire nations are strengthened. 4. The hidden power of her presence. Here's what men often overlook. A godly woman has a quiet power that does not need to be announced. Her presence alone can bring peace in moments of tension, direction in times of confusion, and hope in times of despair. She does not need to dominate or manipulate. Her influence comes from the authority of her character, and that is why kings, warriors, and leaders throughout history have valued the counsel of godly women. They knew her wisdom could prevent wars, heal wounds, and protect legacies. Brothers, understand this truth. When you welcome a godly woman into your life, you are not just welcoming beauty, you are welcoming stability, vision, and destiny. Her influence extends beyond you, beyond your household, and even beyond your lifetime. She shapes generations. That is why the wise man honors such a woman. Because without her, chaos spreads. But with her, order reigns. Without her, families crumble. But with her, legacies endure. The influence of a godly woman is not just personal, it is eternal. Share in the comments, how have you seen the influence of a godly woman change lives, whether in your own story or in history? Chapter 4. Worldly Beauty Versus. Divine Beauty Brothers, we live in an age where beauty is bought, edited, and displayed like a product. Social media has turned appearance into currency, and too many men have been deceived into chasing illusions instead of truth. Worldly beauty is loud, demanding attention at every turn, but divine beauty, the beauty of a godly woman, is quiet, powerful, and eternal. 1. The nature of worldly beauty. Worldly beauty is temporary. It thrives on vanity, comparison, and pride. It seeks validation, not from virtue, but from applause. It can be seen in the endless pursuit of external perfection, surgery, filters, and the desperate desire to be noticed. But here is the danger. Worldly beauty fades. Time is undefeated. The very things that the world glorifies, youth, glamour, and fashion, are fleeting shadows. They may intoxicate for a moment, but they cannot sustain a soul. History is filled with cautionary tales. Consider Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, renowned for her breathtaking beauty. Her charm could sway emperors and generals. Yet in the end, it was not beauty that saved her empire. It was strategy, alliances, and wisdom. When beauty becomes the only foundation, it collapses under the weight of reality. 2. The nature of divine beauty. Divine beauty, on the other hand, is eternal. It is not bound by age, culture, or trends. It is rooted in virtue, faith, and character. The godly woman radiates not because of her appearance, but because of her spirit. Scripture tells us, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, but from the inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. Divine beauty does not fade with wrinkles, nor does it lose value with time. In fact, it grows stronger with age because wisdom and experience deepen its glow. Divine beauty is seen in patience when the world is restless, in kindness when the world is cruel, in faith when the world is faithless. It is a light that cannot be dimmed, no matter how dark the times become. 3. The consequences of choosing one. Over the other, men who pursue only worldly beauty often find themselves empty. They may win the attention of the eyes, but not the loyalty of the heart. They may enjoy temporary pleasure, but they will never know lasting peace. But men who recognize divine beauty discover something greater. They do not just find a partner for the moment, they find a companion for life, a woman whose strength, loyalty, and godliness elevate them toward greatness. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca warned against chasing shallow desires, saying, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." The same wisdom applies here. To crave only worldly beauty is to live in poverty of the soul. To value divine beauty is to live in abundance. 4. The call to discernment. Brothers, this is why discernment is crucial. Train your eyes, but more importantly, train your heart. Do not fall for what glitters while ignoring what lasts. Do not mistake appearance for essence. A godly woman may not always be the one who draws the loudest attention in a crowd, but she will be the one who stands with you in silence, who prays for you in secret, and who believes in you when the world turns against you. Worldly beauty pleases the eyes, divine beauty feeds the soul, and the wise man chooses what will last for eternity. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe today's world makes it harder for men to recognize divine beauty over worldly beauty? Brothers, we have walked through the beauty and behavior of a godly woman, from her timeless inner strength to her virtues, to her influence on men, families, and nations, and finally to the contrast between worldly and divine beauty. And if one truth stands above all, it is this: a godly woman is not just a blessing, she is a legacy. In a culture obsessed with appearances, the wise man must look deeper. Do not chase what fades, honor what endures. Do not be blinded by the glitter of vanity. Recognize the glow of virtue. Because one day, the things that seem attractive now will vanish, but the strength of a godly woman will remain, building homes, shaping generations, and inspiring eternity. The true beauty of a godly woman is not in her face, but in her faith. Not in her style, but in her spirit. Not in how she looks in the light, but in how she stands in the dark. And when you recognize this, when you value this, you will understand that her worth is far above rubies. Men of the Stoic Golden Tribe, let us raise our standard. Let us not be swayed by the world's shallow definitions. Let us honor the women of virtue, respect the women of discipline, and cherish the women whose hearts are anchored in truth. Because when men and women walk in godliness together, families thrive, societies strengthen, and nations rise. Brothers, if this message has spoken to you, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with another man who needs to hear these words. Subscribe to the channel, join the brotherhood, and together let us continue to build lives of strength, wisdom, and purpose. And remember this always: beauty fades, but virtue remains. Seek the godly woman, and you will find not just beauty, but destiny. Leave your thoughts below. Have you ever seen the strength of a godly woman shape a man's life or a family's future?